Hey everyone, this is Demari. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And today I'm going to be doing the June 2020 Shadow Work Tarot reading for the sign of Taurus. Please keep in mind this is a general reading, so it's not going to apply to each and every one of you. However, you can take a look at this month's reading in regards to your Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus signs. So do take a look at your natal chart, see the corresponding zodiac placements, and see which video's title resonates for you most at this time. So just to let you know, I will be pulling from 3 different oracle decks. The first deck will be the Dark Mirror Oracle. The second will be the Angelarian Oracle. And the third will be the Moonology, okay? So because we have so much going on astrologically, there's so much energies taking place currently that are coming through for deep transformative healing. I felt like it was important to get as much insight as we can for these energies, hence the 3 different oracle decks. And then to get further insight as to how this can apply to your current circumstances, I'll be pulling from the Wild Unknown Tarot and then clarifying further with the intuitive. So, Taurus, let's get into it. So first of all, I just want to say a quick thank you to everyone who's been liking, commenting and subscribing. It means absolute world to me. For those of you as well who've been sharing my videos, thank you so much. That is awesome. I hope that these videos give you some insight, clarity, and some assistance in whatever situation you're navigating. For those of you who haven't subscribed yet, please do, because I'd love to have you a part of my growing online community. It'd be awesome to see you as a part of it and just to really connect with new people. I'm always open to that. And for those of you who do leave comments, I do read them all. So I appreciate you taking the time to, let me know your feedback, your thoughts, whether or not it applies, how it applies, and, just generally your story. So thank you so much. Okay. So in regards to the Dark Mirror then, getting into your reading, you have Triumph of Lies. I haven't had this card for some time, so it's interesting that this came up for you, Taurus. So I feel like there's something you're kind of putting on a pedestal. It could be a dream, could be a connection, could be yourself, could be a job, could be a family member, as I said, a person, could be a relationship, a lover. Could be a friendship, could be about just about anything. But there's something I feel like that you're putting on a pedestal, and the reality is that either you're pinning all of your hopes on it to the point where it's not being manifested, or this connection or this dream is not being manifested, or you're not truly seeing something for what it is, right? Triumph of Lies. So you keep making this grandiose picture in your head of what you believe it to be or what you want it to be, when the reality is very different. It's far removed from that, okay? So just be aware of that, because there is some deception being presented here, definitely with this card, okay? So there is an element of self-deception there, by choice as well, okay? So we'll take a look as to how this can apply as we move on. So I'm going to pull from the Angelarian deck now. Wow, okay, that came out aggressively. Gosh. It's okay. So you got Biner, Left Eye, Knowledge. Who else got this? Someone else got this as well. I can't remember who it was. Yeah, I don't remember. One of the other signs got this card also. So this is talking of divine knowledge coming through, being offered, accepted, being understood, being used to propel yourself forward, right? So let's have a look in regards to what the description, or the summary rather, says from the booklet itself. It is a brand new deck. It's one of my newest decks. I absolutely adore it. But I'm not familiar with all of the cards' meanings yet, not in detail, so I'd rather give you it straight from the creators itself, okay, the actual meaning. So let me hold this for you so you can see it while we talk about it. So Bina, or Bina, I'm not sure how you say it, but anyway. The third emanation, a flow of light that pours into the world, a candle whose flame may light another without diminishing its own. Bina seeks not only creation but purpose. She is a flare of pure intent that blossoms from the heart of existence and out into the world. Her energy brings with it a desire for knowledge. She is the force that churns all of the potential from high emanations into a form that can be received by our consciousness. The white orb illuminates the way forward. Bina sits atop the pillar of severity, heading the feminine aspect of the diagram, creating a perfect balance with Chokmah at her side. Together they represent a continuum of psychic understanding. While Bina represents the power of knowing, Chokmah reveals the power of not knowing. One acts as a vessel as the other fills that vessel, giving it purpose. And this is found in learning, shared experience, and creation. Okay. Excuse me, I'm sorry if you hear my stomach. I don't know what it's doing today. I'm not even hungry. But anyway, so with this here, it's like saying that I feel like you are creating a vision for yourself. You're manifesting some vision in your mind. Because like I said, I feel like that's why you're maybe overlooking certain things, or you're not perceiving the reality of a situation because you're focused on this manifestation that you're trying to create, right? I think there is some foresight coming through that's being presented through certain symbols, maybe in dream states, maybe some lucid dreaming taking place, where it's providing this knowledge, okay? You're getting this foresight through what this experience actually represents, what it actually is providing you. Because maybe you're assuming that it's giving you one thing when it's actually providing another, right? So I don't feel like the experience is wasted or it's meaningless or it's detrimental. I feel like it is an essential part of your path, but it may not be what you think it is. It may serve a different purpose, is what I'm saying, okay? So that's really interesting. So we'll continue and see what else we can reveal about this energy. So we'll go over to the Moonology deck now. Not too many cards there. Just pull one, see how this can relate to the energies that we're discussing. Whoop. It's funny how your cards are really jumping out, Taurus. It's really funny. They're just like, they're not even like flying across the room like they often do. They're just like popping up just on top. It's really funny. Anyway, so the card you got is a new start is coming. New moon. Awesome. This is what I'm talking about. This is that creation energy, okay? This is vision becoming manifested, right? Or getting into that space of working within the astral in order to make something manifest into reality, okay? So you might be tapping into your psychic ability more, because this very much talks of psychic ability, divine wisdom, and manifestation, right? So you could be tapping into those aspects of yourself more to start really creating a life or a partnership or a dream that you really want, that truly is resonant of the energy that you want to have in your life, right? So that's very interesting and very positive. I really like that as a central energy of your reading, okay? So you're like, I'm aware of how things currently are. So even though I feel like you are this has kind of changed for me a little bit, this combination, because I felt like there was some self-deception because you didn't want to accept things as they are. You didn't want to see it, but I'm now starting to feel differently now. I feel like on some level, of course, you are aware that things aren't what you, crown them to be. You see how she's got like a skull face and there's a golden crown on top? That maybe once you release this old perception that you have of the connection, of the dream, of your reality, right? Once you let go of that perception and just embrace more what it could be rather than what you think it should be, and understand truly what it currently is, then you can manifest what it is that you truly want, right? That's what I'm getting from this, actually, is that you are aware that it's not what it seems, or it's not what you envisioned it to be, right? And you're kind of just clinging onto an old dream or an old vision that doesn't serve where it is you're currently at, right? And how things truly are. It's not indicative of that. It's not reflecting your reality. So once you let go of that old perception and just tap into this ethereal energy where you can manifest from the 5D down into your 3D circumstances, then you'll see these changes, right? Then you'll start to see that it really is starting to become something more, right? That there is that depth, there is that sparkle to it, right? But what you're not understanding is that the reason why your perceived, reality, or your hopeful reality isn't what it seems, or isn't manifesting, is because it's not aligned to what is actually needed to come through. Okay, it's not actually what like the lesson, the knowledge, right, that will come from this situation isn't what you think it will be, right? That's why it's not coming together in the way you envisioned, because it will come together once you are able to perceive it with the right set of eyes. It will come together in a completely different way, and it will take you by surprise. It's something that's going to be very, very positive, actually. So nothing to fear on that level, which is good. I like that. I really like that as an energy for you, Taurus. Okay, so we'll move over to the tarot now. But yeah, that's really positive. I really like that. So I'm hoping it remains that way. It's just letting go of perceived notions, of outdated perceptions, right, of how things should be or how things are when they're not, and things like that. It's just, sort of breaking that barrier and opening up to new perceptions, new possibilities, and then boom, you can start manifesting significant changes. And that's when you'll start to see truly the value of whatever it is that's a part of your reality. You'll understand why it has a place in your life, its true purpose in your life. That's the clear message here, is you're not seeing its true purpose yet. You've assigned a purpose to it that isn't reflective of why it truly is in your life, right? But that knowledge is coming through. You're coming to understand that slowly but surely. That is coming through. I'm sorry if you keep hearing my stomach. I don't know what's happening. Like, honestly. I think with all these energetic shifts, my eating has been kind of strange. I'm like, one minute I'm hungry and I'll eat a lot, and the next minute I'm like, really don't feel like eating that much at all. I don't know. So yeah, please just ignore that if you hear grumbling in the background. And we'll eat afterwards. And I didn't even eat that long ago. But anyway. So let's move on. Too many cards. Okay. All right. Okay. Wow, I wasn't expecting that as a combination. Okay. So let's go into it. All right. So the first card you got was the 8 of Cups. So water energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. You're choosing to walk away from, you're not choosing to walk away from something you really wanted or something you really care about or a dream. I feel like you're walking away from how you once perceived it, because this knowledge is coming in, right? This divine knowledge is coming in that it's not what you thought it was, that it's something else, that it serves a different purpose, that it's going to teach you a different lesson, that it's going to manifest in a different way. So you're slowly coming to that acceptance, but you're realizing that in order to do that, you have to release your feelings, your attachment to the old perception, right? Not necessarily a connection or a dream or anything like that, but just the old perception. You're having to release the attachment to that. So you're having to walk off and give yourself some time to really process that information. you know, which is normal. You know, you need time. You can't shatter your perception overnight and just be like, oh, okay, yeah. It doesn't work like that. You know, you need time to integrate this new awareness that you have and the knowledge that's coming in through, you know, your higher aspect, right? So in regards to the next card, you have the 5 of Cups. So yeah, there is going to be a feeling of loss, you know, because I think you put a lot of hopes, you pinned a lot of your hopes and your energy on something that wasn't, well, I don't want to say authentic because I don't feel like it's the right word. It just wasn't real, right? It wasn't how you were trying to force it to be something it wasn't, essentially. So you're slowly coming to realize that. And while it does cause you some upset and pain and sadness, that you're having to let go of the previous vision, I feel like in this case, what you are aware of is that there is a new vision forming behind you, right? So that you're just coming to terms with the loss of, you know, what you thought things were or what you perceived things to be, or your dream, or, you know, whatever. But you're soon going to be ready, you know, because the new start is coming. So soon you'll be ready to turn around and look at this whole new incredible vision that's forming behind you, right? And as I said, I don't feel like you're having to release your dreams or release a connection or release people from your life. I think it's just literally the association or the way you perceive things, you know, and the attachments, the kind of attachments you formed based upon those perceptions. That's where you're releasing, right? Because it doesn't serve you anymore. It doesn't serve where you're headed. You know, you're transcending all of that. So it's really interesting that this is kind of being presented so strongly in all of these cards, right? I feel like that's a very central theme for you this time, Taurus. And then finally, in regards to the last card, you have the Empress in reverse. So this is your card, Taurus, okay? This is your energy, the Empress, right? And it doesn't matter that it's a feminine aspect, okay? This is just talking about the divine feminine aspect of yourself, okay? And the very humanistic aspect, right? Feminine, humanistic feminine aspect as well. Yeah, so I think you're realizing that maybe you realize that maybe that you are trying to grow something in a way that isn't reflective of its seed. For example, it's like you brought a bunch of roses, right? Rose seeds, and you planted them and you were taking care of them as if you brought peonies, right? And you were expecting, like, when the roots started to, you know, when the little shoots started coming up and it started to, you know, mature and get to the point of blossoming, you was expecting to see peonies, right? But you got roses. And you're like, why am I starting to see roses? And you're like, you know, and the universe is like, because it's a rose, you know, it's not a peony. That's why you can't treat it the same way as a peony, because it's not. It's a completely different part. You have to nurture it in a different way, and you have to accept it for what it is, right? It's that kind of thing. So I think you're slowly realizing that that's what's taking place, right? I know that's just a kind of a random metaphor, but that's just to explain kind of the energy of this, you know? So it's slowly realizing that where you may not have been nurturing it in the correct way, for lack of a better word. I don't want to say it like that, but you know what I mean. It just wasn't the right way of approaching it for that specific thing, right? If you know what I mean. Because I think you just didn't understand truly what it was and what its purpose is. That's what I'm getting from it. Okay. So let's have a look then. Let's clarify with the intuitive. But this is a very interesting reading. It's very unique. I've never done a reading like this before. Just like the energy that's coming through the message. It's very, very specific. It's very, very unique. But it's a very nice one as well. It's It's very transformative and transformative and positive, right? It's very, very transformative, and it's going to really serve you in the long run as well, because you're awakening to parts of yourself that you didn't even realize were a part of you, I feel. You know, you're going deeper into this spiritual awareness and how you can actually manifest things with the right energy, you know, manifest positive things that are truly aligned to your will, not what you perceived to be what you wanted, right? Two very different things that often get confused. And I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions about manifestation, laws of attraction. People think that you can just, you know, be like, oh, I really want a car, so I'm going to manifest a car and $5 million. It doesn't work like that. It's about what it is that you need and what, you know, what your needs are and what your true will is, right? And its relevance on your trajectory, right, where you're currently at. So it just gets confused a lot of the time. So I just wanted to say that it's talking about your true will, not what you think you want. That's what you're realizing here. This is the lesson that you're currently learning, okay? The difference between the two. So clarifying the 8 of Cups here, you have the 3 of Pentacles in reverse. So this is your energy, okay? As well as Virgo and Capricorn. So with the 3 in reverse, it's like you're realizing where you and possibly another person or another 2 people here were trying to build very different structures. You had different ideas because you have very different perspectives, right? So you may have been partnered or teamed with a person or a group of people, and you're trying to create something and you're thinking you're all on the same, you know, page, but you're actually not. So that's why it didn't come together in the way you thought it would, because you're not trying to create the same vision, right? You all have your own idea of how things should be and what you're trying to create and where it needs to move towards. So that's why there was disarray and some level of disorder, because it was like, you know, you're trying to paint 3 very different masterpieces on the same sheet, you know, the same canvas. It's not going to work, you know, it's going to be very disorganized. So I think that's why you kind of needed to take some time, allow this knowledge to come in and understand where that could be causing friction, where things are not really aligning, right, for you. And you're coming to understand that now. So now you're like, oh, I see, that's why that was happening. You know, because I was trying to do this, they were trying to do that. You know, our circumstances were this when I was thinking it was that. You know, it's that kind of thing. So you're kind of having to reassess that and just give yourself time to kind of mull that over, not in a stressed way or anything like that, but just really allow yourself time to come to understand all of this, what we've discussed, all of that information and all of these energies that are now presenting themselves, and come to a point where you're like, okay, I get it now. So what do I need to do to move forward? Then that's where you're going to be thinking, and that's where you're going to be assessing. So clarifying the 5 of Cups, you have the Wheel of Fortune. Awesome, very good, very, very good. Especially with the fact that you have a new star is coming, new moon energy, and you have the Wheel of Fortune here. So it's like while you're having to release old perceptions, old notions of how things should be done or what it should be like, or where it is that you should be headed in this group, this collective, or this partnership, or just in yourself towards whatever you're trying to accomplish here, you are realizing that you have to release that so you can focus on what is actually being built, which is actually being manifested, what the true vision is, you know, the true purpose here. And then once you start working with that energy and start working from a place of your true will, that's when you'll see things changing, you know, in your favor, like significantly, right? Big positive changes. And then finally clarifying the Empress here in reverse, you have the Tower. So this is it. This is what I'm talking about. This is the breaking down of old perceptions, the breaking down of old notions, shattering. I feel like it's like the shattering of an old programming, right? An old program that you've been running for a long time, and then you realize, like, holy shit, like this is not it, like this is not how it works, right? So it's this like breaking down of an old code that doesn't function anymore, that isn't fitting anymore, because the operating system has vastly, you know, advanced beyond that, right? So it needs new coding, it needs a new program, it needs new everything, pretty much, right? Because you're running at a different frequency now, you have a different perception now. You know, your awareness of self, you know, the microcosm, the macrocosm, you know, the forces of nature, universal laws, all of these things is coming into play, and it's completely reshaping how you view things. You know, it's a huge shift in perception. So it is like a giant tower moment for you. So you need time to integrate that knowledge. It's not something that can be done overnight, but you will be able to do it, and it's not actually going to be that painful for you. It's just going to be a lot to take on. So you just need a bit of time for that adjustment period, right? But once you get to that point, boom, newness coming in. You know, so as this structure is breaking down, something new and very positive and supercharging your true vision is coming to the forefront. So this is probably like one of the most positive, you know, least painful. I mean, it's very transformative. It's still not going to be a walk in the park. There's still going to be some sadness and release that needs to take place. But it's like one of the happiest, you know, most beautiful shadow work readings I've ever done in my life, okay? So this is awesome, Taurus. This is like perfect for you, and I'm so glad this is coming in. So yeah, if this resonates for you, do let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you found it useful, give it a thumbs up. As I said, if you haven't subscribed, please do. I'd love to see you on the channel. And yeah, I'd love to see how this plays out for you. So do let me know as well. And we'll see if any of these energies come up in your next reading. I'm not sure what that'll be yet, so I'll put an announcement up closer to the time. But yeah, fantastic reading. Really, really awesome. So sending you lots of love, sending you lots of positive vibes through this process. And yeah, I'll speak to you guys soon. Bye.